Have you ever wondered why Indian students seem to be increasingly falling victim to violence in America? Yes, it's a question that's been echoing around the world lately. The concern around the safety of Indian students studying in the land of opportunity is escalating. With each passing day, we hear of more and more cases of violence against these bright, hopeful individuals. It's a grim reality that's hard to ignore. Let's delve into this disturbing trend and try to understand the reasons behind it. The issue first started to make headlines around the early 2000s. It was a time of burgeoning globalization, when more and more Indian students were exploring educational opportunities across the globe. America, with its top-notch universities and promise of a dream life, became the preferred destination for many. But as the number of Indian students in America swelled, so did the reports of inexplicable violence against them. It started as isolated incidents, scattered across different states. A student in Texas, another in California, yet another in New York. The geography was as diverse as the victims themselves. Over the years, these incidents stopped being anomalies. They became a pattern, a trend that was hard to ignore. By the mid-2000s, the frequency had increased alarmingly. What was once a sporadic occurrence had turned into a regular headline. The Indian student community in America was under a cloud of fear and uncertainty. Each incident added a new layer to the narrative, painting a grim picture of the experiences of Indian students in America. The incidents weren't confined to a particular area or a specific group. They were widespread, indiscriminate, and unforgiving. As we moved into the 2010s, the situation seemed to worsen. The headlines were no longer surprising. They were expected, predictable, and that was what made it even more unsettling. As the incidents continued to rise, so did the concern and questions about why this was happening. While there isn't a single definitive answer, multiple potential causes have been proposed. One of the most frequently cited reasons is racial discrimination. It's a harsh reality that discrimination still exists in many parts of the world, including America. Despite the country's melting pot reputation, some people hold prejudices against those who look different, sound different, or come from different cultural backgrounds. It's important to remember, though, that this is not reflective of everyone, and we should be wary of painting all with the same brush. Another potential cause is cultural misunderstandings. Indian students, like any other international students, bring with them their unique customs, traditions, and social norms. These may not always align with the societal norms in America, leading to potential misunderstandings or conflicts. These misunderstandings can sometimes escalate, leading to unfortunate incidents. Then there's the vulnerability of being foreigners in a new land. Being thousands of miles away from home, navigating unfamiliar surroundings, grappling with a different language and culture can make one feel isolated and vulnerable. This vulnerability may, unfortunately, make Indian students an easier target for those with ill intentions. Consider also the economic factors. Students often work part-time jobs, sometimes in areas with higher crime rates. This exposes them to additional risks that domestic students may not face. Finally, we must take into account the societal issues prevalent in America, such as gun violence and crime rates. These are issues that affect everyone living in the country, not just Indian students. However, it's crucial to note that these are broad generalizations, and individual experiences can vary greatly. Many Indian students have positive experiences studying in America, forming lifelong friendships and gaining valuable skills and knowledge. Each of these factors may contribute to the problem, but they don't fully explain why Indian students are particularly targeted. As we delve deeper into this issue, let's keep an open mind and remember that the goal is not to point fingers, but to understand and address the root causes of this troubling trend. One harsh reality is that Indian students are often seen as easy targets. Why? Well, there's a stereotype, an image that has been painted of Indian students abroad. They're seen as outsiders carrying bags filled with riches from their homeland. Their accents, clothing, and cultural habits make them stand out, and unfortunately, in some situations, this can make them a target. In reality, many of these students come from middle-class families, having saved up for years, sometimes even decades, to afford an education abroad. They aren't wealthy, but the perception of wealth can be enough to put them in danger. Then there's the physical aspect. India, being a largely non-violent society, doesn't raise its children to be physically aggressive. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it's a testament to the culture's peaceful nature. But when they're thrown into an environment where physical strength and the ability to defend oneself can mean the difference between safety and harm, it puts them at a disadvantage. Now, let's talk about the lack of awareness. It's not uncommon for Indian students to be unfamiliar with the local laws and safety measures in America. They might not know what to do if they're in danger, or what rights they have if they're confronted by someone with ill intentions. This lack of knowledge can make them seem vulnerable, easy targets for those looking to exploit them. It's not just about awareness of the laws, though. There's also the issue of cultural awareness. Understanding the customs, the do's and don'ts, the subtle nuances of American society can play a crucial role in avoiding misunderstandings and conflicts. And this is something that takes time to learn, time that not everyone is willing to give. This perception, coupled with the other factors discussed earlier, creates a dangerous situation for Indian students in America. So what can be done to address this issue? We've arrived at a crucial crossroad where we need to ask this question. The answer isn't simple, but it's vital that we explore potential solutions to this escalating problem. Firstly, there's a pressing need to improve cultural understanding. America is a melting pot of diverse cultures, and it's imperative that everyone understands, respects, and appreciates this diversity. Cultural understanding can be fostered through events, workshops, and programs aimed at celebrating diverse cultures and traditions. This can help break down stereotypes and foster mutual respect among students of different backgrounds. Next, we need to educate our students about local laws and safety measures. Ignorance of the law is no excuse, and it's important that Indian students are aware of their rights and responsibilities in their host country. Seminars, orientation programs, and informational resources can be instrumental in achieving this. Additionally, we can't underestimate the power of social integration. Encouraging Indian students to mingle with local students and participate in community activities can help them adapt better to their new environment. It can also lead to the formation of strong support networks, which can be particularly valuable in times of crisis. Of course, these initiatives need to be backed by robust policies that ensure the safety and well-being of international students. Universities, local communities, and law enforcement agencies need to work together to create a safe and conducive environment for learning and growth. Last but not least, it's important for students themselves to be proactive. Being aware of one's surroundings, reporting suspicious activities, and seeking help when needed are all vital steps that students can take to protect themselves. While these steps won't eliminate the problem overnight, they can certainly help reduce the risks and ensure a safer environment for Indian students in America. It's a journey, not a destination, and every step we take in the right direction brings us closer to a world where every student, regardless of where they come from, can pursue their dreams without fear.